The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We've been talking about a world that I used to go to all the time, and that is nightclubs. I used to be in nightclubs for probably 6 nights out of the week when I used to work in them.
Man.
And then when I wasn't working in them, that kept on going. So for me now to be in a nightclub, it's just completely foreign.
Yeah, me too. I haven't been around for a while. Megan won't let me go.
Oh, no, Shaun. Which one would you go to now? Do you even know?
I'm going to have to walk into the big house at some stage, Metros.
Yeah.
At some stage.
Yeah.
Just put a hand in the air.
I've seen
and
you.
nod.
I've seen you. You used to come alive at Paramount. We would have been there a couple of times. Paramount seemed to get your juices flowing. And I would love to see what you do on the dance floor at the Mustang Bar.
Oh, yeah. Got a couple of...
But we're talking about nightclubs nowadays because we don't go much. And Sam, who works with us here,
morning.
Sam, I was asking you about the vaping situation because vaping is out of control and people are just doing it everywhere.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
I think it's because it smells nice that people don't think that is anything bad attached to it, and that's why a lot of people don't have a go at someone that's vaping in public. But
No,
so is that at nightclubs? How is it at nightclubs now?
Oh, well, yeah, you just do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, there's pretty much no rules. And they say there's no vaping, but, you know, people are still doing it. It's not really enforced.
Yeah, so there's no smoking in these places or any of these venues anymore, but you can just get in there and have a cheeky vape everywhere.
Well, yeah, because the vape just disappears after a second and it smells like blueberries most of the time.
Yeah, sure. The last time I saw a lot of people vaping, we were at a Nova function and we were at a pub and just outside in the beer garden where you would not be allowed to smoke. It was every person had a vape in their hand, and it was just like, I described it as walking through a sea of unicorn farts. Blueberry, cookies and cream, banana twist. Amazing stuff. But tell us about how out of control vaping's got.
Well, it was a couple months ago when Frozen... Oh, how long ago was that? 5 months ago now, when Frozen was in town, the musical.
Yeah.
And I had taken one of my best mates, and midway through the musical, I could see something from the corner of my eye, like a little bit of like haziness, and I was like, there's no way she's done that to me. And I look over to my left, and she's just blown a big billow of smoke into her top.
So it looks like now her boobs are on fire.
Yeah. At Frozen the musical, I was like, we've just come back from intermission as well. I was like, I know she would have been vaping in the bathroom as
I'll have
well.
something going.
Yeah. I could not believe it.
That is insane. So I the other week was shopping at Coles and I was down the bread aisle and there was a guy just vaping his little heart out
At
as
Coles?
he was at Coles while he was shopping. A couple of older people gave him a concerned look, but everyone else was like, oh yeah, no worries, and just walked past. But the one thing, Sam, talk about this. Don't say where it was.
Yeah, and so this was, I had to go do a screening at a medical centre, and I have to do a wee test, and when I couldn't get the lid off the bottle that I pee in to do the test, and then when I came back out to like ask her to undo it for me, she was
supervisor.
Yeah, she was vaping in the medical centre. And like, I'm a real one. I don't care. I'm like, good on you. Like, we had back-to-back patients outside, so I was like, yeah, sneak it in while you can. But you know, lucky it was me who found her, not someone else.
Vaping, it's so funny.
Vaping,
so funny.
Oh, it's funny, but people shouldn't do it officially.
Okay, yes,
say that.
Good line, Nate.
Vaping everywhere at the moment, Ellie, isn't it?
Cheeky vapor.
When I was at Coldplay, someone was smoking an old school cigarette next to me.
What?
Yeah. And I was fuming. Like, not fuming with the cigarette, but I was angry.
Oh my God, when I was in Amsterdam, the most amazing thing happened. I was walking down the street and like everyone had like a giant joint hanging out of their mouths and no one was even looking, but someone walked past with a cigarette, everyone would give them filthy looks.
That's weird.
And that to me just blew my mind. We are taking calls about vaping out of control, where you've seen it happen where it shouldn't have.
Gwen's in Joondalup. Good morning, Gwen.
Good morning. How are you?
Hey,
Good.
Gwen. All right, Gwen, vaping, it seems to be all over the shop right now. What have you seen?
Oh, but my mum is nearly 80, and she had a horrible fall and completely smashed her shoulder and had to have a complete reverse shoulder reconstruction.
Oh, nasty.
God.
In hospital, she had to wait 5 days to have the surgery because she was on blood thinners.
Yeah.
Finally, she had the surgery, and after the surgery, she had a heart problem. She had to have another procedure on her heart.
Oh.
While she's waiting for that, she was in a ward that just had a curtain between another ward.
Yes.
And there was about a 90-year-old lady in bed in the ward right next to her. Her daughter, who was about 70, I reckon, immaculately dressed, beautiful nails, and I just could see through the curtain next to my mum's ward.
Yeah.
She's vaping and blowing the smoke or the fumes or whatever they are towards the window that's not open, and then with a tissue kind of fanning it, and this is going everywhere. There's a 90-year-old lady and an 80-year-old lady lying in hospital practically on their deathbed, and having a sneaky vape at the window that's not open.
Did she say anything? Did you say anything or not?
No, I was completely horrified. I didn't say anything. I should have. In hindsight, I should have. Said,
But I think we can all agree she did have the tissue and she
had the
was
tissue.
fanning it away.
Oh, yeah,
Pretty much
she
saved the
was saying
day.
it. Exactly. Window open or not. Seriously.
And she was an old duck herself having a vape. That's funny.
Gwen, that's hilarious. All right, let's go on to Steve. Hey, Steve.
Good morning, how are you?
Hey, good,
Steve,
buddy.
this rings a bell to you, Steve?
Well, I just recently came home from Adelaide. My mum actually had heart surgery in Adelaide.
Oh.
And on my way back, I was flying where there was a seat between me and another guy, and I was just having a gin, and I could smell something. I was like, what is that? And I turned to my right, and there's this guy, and he's vaping, but he was blowing, I don't know, he had like a napkin folded up into like a really tight square, and somehow, I don't know how they work, but it was like blowing it through the napkin, which was capturing all the smoke.
So he's trying to create a filter.
I'm like clutching my pearls and rolling my eyes, and he couldn't hear them. And I was like, what? And then the cabin crew walked past, and they were oblivious to it. They had no idea. And this guy did not care. He was just like, I don't care who sees. You know, he wouldn't even, he wouldn't take his eyes off it. He wouldn't even look at me. I'm like, how do you get away with that?
Well, he had the protection of the napkin, Steve. So he was never
The napkin.
If we all go down, he at least had his napkin.
Oh, look, I mean, we can see a theme here, Gwen, with the hospital and a sick mother. There was a tissue being woven around this guy's breathing it into a napkin. I would have possibly tried it out, like breathing into the sick bag, Sean.
Oh, yeah, that would have worked okay. Okay, here's another thing. Would have you dobbed him in?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have dobbed him in.
Because people punch people on flights now.
You get punchy on
I don't want him to know which exact seat he can find me. I'm going to punch the guy at 14B. There he is. That is hilarious, Steve. Thanks. Let's finish off with Candace from Piara Waters. Hey, Candace.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, Candace.
No, this vaping seems to be out of control. A bit humorous. What do you got for us?
So, my lawn mowing man.
Yeah.
I get it's outside.
Yes.
But watching this man control a 200-kilo machine with one hand while vaping with the other, I make sure I'm home every fortnight.
Just to watch it.
To watch. And then he gets the whippersnapper, one-handed, perfect lines, got the edger, and I'm thinking, surely life would be easy with two hands, but one-handed, like he's perfected it, like a mum with a pram.
Oh,
That's
that
amazing.
is
I want to
so
see it myself,
funny.
Candace.
I do love
Every
it when...
fortnight.
I do love it. Well, okay, let's book some seats, Sean. I want to see the amazing one-armed lawnmower man.
Because those big lawnmowers that you're talking about, because, you know, they've got the rolly things on them.
Yeah.
We're seeing them. They've got a brake on them, so you really need to control them with two hands.
With one hand, he moves it, and I'm thinking, surely he's going to stuff up that line, you know. He's got the lines in the grass. Not those lines are perfection. It's not even a kink in them.
I have to say, Candace, is he a big burly bloke, is he? Like a real blokey bloke?
No, not overly.
Yeah, right. I love seeing
And
big...
that's what's interesting.
I love seeing big blokey, burly blokes walking around with vapes at the moment because, you know, it's like low bikey and you can smell bubblegum twist. Or apricot surprise. It's hilarious. For sure.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Nathan, what did you do? You said you didn't do much over the weekend like me, but how did it kick off, like Friday, Saturday? Did you catch up with anyone?
Yeah. Well, I had a couple of projects to do at home, which I didn't like because they were outside projects, and that's where the heat is.
Yeah, it's where the heat is. It was really warm.
They really got to get the air conditioning fixed outside, don't they? Anyway, so Dad had come over and was helping me do stuff with my old car because I'm wanting to get rid of it.
Yep.
And then we'd made a plan of going out to lunch. So we timed it so that Dad was at my place, and then we knew how much time we're going to spend on the car, and then we're going to get to the place we were eating in Mount Lawley, which opened at 11. Right. So now the thing about going out with Brian Morris for a luncheon or any outside event is there is just a giant list of rules that need to be followed for the day to go calmly.
And there's a time limit on everything too.
And there's weather, there's parking, there's so many other, there's so many things, and there's the time as well. Dad doesn't like being out past 12 lunchtime because, a quote from him, I've got stuff to do.
That's always been the thing for Brian.
I've got stuff to do. Okay, now, I've been around his house. I don't see much stuff being done.
So how did it go? So what? Okay, tell us. Okay.
So we've timed it. So we get to park, behind the restaurant, and we were there at probably 5 minutes to 11, which was sweet. So we parked the car and we sat there for a second, and then I said, all right, let's get into the restaurant. Because I said to him, let's just wait here for a minute, because I hate being the people that as soon as you open the doors, you're waiting there. I said, let's just give them a couple of minutes. No. Stuff them. If they want our money, they're going to be ready for us. Okay, no worries. So we get out of the car and we walk to the restaurant. Anyway, it's shut. The thing is, now the sign has changed on the door saying it opens at 11:30. It's 11, right?
Yep.
And on the website it says it opened at 11, and there was no mention of 11:30. Well, Dad went mental. Things he said about that restaurant, if they had heard, and then he was like, stuff your mum, I'm going home. And then I said to him, he goes, let's go find somewhere else to eat. And I said, no, but Dad, I want you to try this place because it has one of these, those big seafood, I think it's like a tom yum soup.
Yeah,
it's got all the
tom yum soup.
It's got all like, the clams and the prawns, and Dad's always wanted one of them, and I had one of them there. So I was like, nah, Dad, let's just stay here. We're here now. I've parked. I've paid for parking. Nah, F you, F your mother. You two are the same. Because we're like, no, let's just wait. So I said, no. Oh, he goes, that's hot, not waiting around. So we don't have to wait out here. We've got a prime park just there. Let's go sit in the car and we'll talk as a family. Anyway, so the complaining goes all the way back to the car, and Dad's the first one in the car, and he's sat there and he's got his arms crossed. He's like abusing me and Mum, telling us what's wrong with us, how we're the same person, and we always back each other up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we just kept that going. So the amazing thing is, Dad said that he didn't want to wait 30 minutes, but yet he complained for 30 minutes, and by the time the 30 minutes was over, we went into the restaurant.
You got him.
He literally complained for 30 minutes. Non-stop. And we were just sitting there enjoying the air conditioner. Mum and I were just letting us wave over us. Yeah, so that was lunch with Dad. So we went in there, we had a really, really lovely meal, but then that's the next step when we're in there with Dad.
Yep.
Dad's not looking at the food we've got. Dad's looking at the food he can possibly take home. So we're all eating our meals, and then Dad, during it, even beforehand, had said to the guy, do you have takeaway containers? Well, yeah, it's a shop.
He's just preparing.
Yeah, so then Dad just keeps his eagle eye on what's left, and then as we're eating, he's telling me what's left and how many meals that'll do, and then as we eat more, the meals become less. So you sort of just stop eating after a while to make sure that he's got enough to take home. Anyway, I implore you, if you get a chance, go out with Brian Morris for lunch.
How long did the lunch, when you actually got in and ate, how long were you there for?
Oh, we don't stuff around, and also you've got to remember we're taking half it at home, so even if you're hungry, you're not going to finish your meal. So we're usually there for like 45 minutes, and then we're out. Anyway, so yeah, if the opportunity arises, my dad asks you out for lunch, 2 thumbs up, but run the other way.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're just having a bit of a chat then about winning.
Yeah.
And Shaun said something that was puzzling to us.
Yeah.
In case you missed it, here it is. Shh.
Might have been a Clayton's win. You just let me...
Failed
What's a Clayton's
everybody.
win?
When you just kind of... Just let the person have the
Who's
victory.
Clayton?
Oh, no. You won it fair and square.
Who's Clayton?
I don't know who it was named
Sean's
after.
mate.
Harry's about to find out. It's called a Clayton's win.
So
Yeah.
a guy named Clayton. So Harry was about to find out. So Harry, of course, being a surfer, he went into his wetsuit and just surfed the entire world wide web.
Every
Got caught in a
page.
barrel, Harry.
Every page.
Every single page did not see any surfboards with
Tried-
Clayton wins.
Tried
Clayton's
to
win
do
on
a
it.
deep dive.
Have you ever heard of Clayton's win?
No.
Okay,
Neither
so
have I.
when you look it up, Clayton's
said it with
is an
such
Aussie
conviction.
slang. It is a terminology amongst my mates. So it's Aussie slang, Clayton's, and it comes from. It's more to do with a fake victory. So on the World Wide Web, it talks about it's like a fake drink. You know, when you're having a drink, but it's a fake. It's a non-alcoholic drink. So it's a Clayton's drink. It's just like a fakie.
Okay.
So the victory was.
Sure, you're looking at me like as if I need to agree with you. I'm actually
What have you found? What have you found?
From a friend, Eliza. She's just like, my mum calls a taco without the shell a Clayton's taco. Because it's sort of a Mexican salad rather than a taco.
Are people out?
So
She must know.
So
she must feel you.
so
she knows.
Tomo
the
would know.
So wait,
Tomo would know. Clayton's
there's a
win.
whole
Thanks,
Clayton's
Eliza.
world, is there? Of
There must be a
Clayton's
Clayton's things.
13, 24, 10, we want to know, have you heard
Yes.
of or used the term a Clayton's win? If
Or
you
a
claim
Clayton's
another
something.
a Clayton's taco. If you do know about the Claytons, give us a call, 13 24 10. I personally still think you made it up. So we'd also like to talk to people about thinking that a thing was a thing, but it
it's not
wasn't a thing.
Okay, when thing was a thing, but it wasn't a thing.
Yeah. My dad
Like
swears
Clayton's
when we go to a restaurant. My dad swears that he's always having and always confuses the waitress when he asks for a chicken parmegizi. he swears, he goes, I'm having the chicken parmegizi.
I want to go to lunch with your dad.
Yeah, we'll make sure it's before midday. And
Is that the Spanish version?
and they always look they always look confused. They always look grab the menu and just have a look to see where the parmegizi is. Anyway,
It's a thing.
it's a thing. That's not a thing. That's a thing. Clayton's wins and things that you thought are a thing that aren't a thing. Let us know what they are. When there's a saying, you think that you know the saying because it becomes a saying because people say it. But Sean just came out before and said a Clayton's win, and like Harry has not heard of it. No,
Ellie?
Tracy
I've
hasn't.
never heard of it.
No.
You've never heard of it.
Oh,
A Clayton's win. A
Clayton's win. Clayton's win.
And Sean
It's
was
not a
like-
win.
And,
It's a win, but not a win.
It's a fake win.
You said your
Fake
mate,
win.
your
You
mates,
claim the win,
your
but
mates
it's not a
use
win.
it, but you didn't make it up.
No, I didn't make it
And
up.
then your mum.
Oh, no, my
Oh, your friend? Was it your
friend's
friend?
mum
Your friend's mum, yeah.
calls it a Clayton taco without the taco. Because it's so it's
That
turns
sounds
into
like you're not getting any
I
at
know,
the end of the night, doesn't it? Oh, mate. How's like, no, no, Clayton's taco, mate.
I want a T-shirt that says that. And a picture.
Okay, come on. Like, unless you Google it, you don't know it. So let's ask Richard. Hey, Richard, how you going, buddy?
Good, mate.
Hey,
Right,
Rich.
Richard. A Clayton's win. Did you know that this term existed?
No, I didn't, but I chucked it into ChatGPT.
Okay.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
here you go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, and according to ChatGPT, there was a drink from the 1970s and 80s that was a non-alcoholic beverage called a Clayton's tonic,
Yeah.
Yes.
and it had the phrase of the drink you have when you're not having a drink.
Oh,
okay.
Like, I can't believe it's not butter. You think it's butter,
Yes,
but it's not butter.
100%.
But then ChatGPT goes further. It says a Clayton's win refers to a victory or success that is unsatisfying, questionable, or not genuine.
It's a Clayton's win.
It's a Clayton's win. What are you talking about?
Chat GPT has backed you on this.
Yeah,
Sean.
yeah, there we go.
Well, it is artificial
Yeah, true.
intelligence.
That's true.
That's not words. Richard, that was very informative. Thank
Yes.
you so much. I still don't believe that many people know about this. Let's check out with Samantha from Bankshire Grove. Samantha, did you only know about it because you just Googled it, or have you heard of Clayton's win before?
No, I'm old enough to actually know about it. There used to be an ad and they had a mime and it was like the dog you walk when you're not walking a dog, and then it was the drink you have when you're not having a drink.
Hey,
So it was just like Richard said, it was like a fake little whiskey. You'd mix it with ginger ale or whatever, and that was that was it.
Are you joking?
Zinzano and lemonade.
How is this a thing? And I didn't know about it.
Clayton's Win.
Well, and so everyone knew about this back then?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it was
do you-
a drink
have you-
you have when you're not having a drink.
Have
So
you-
basically,
Have you ever used the term a Clayton's Win before?
I've never used a Clayton's Win, but I have probably used the term for some other things.
What about a Clayton's Taco? She's heard of that. She's just not serving them.
It's that nervous laughter right now.
Thanks, Sam.
Okay, let's check with Lisa from Baldivis. Hey, Lisa, Clayton's Win. Did you know of its existence beforehand?
Yes, but not quite as a Clayton's Win. So when I was in Year 12, I got a teacher award for being a Clayton student. And I went, well, what does that mean? I was really confused. Yeah, and she said it's a student who's not really a student. And I didn't understand it for a very long time, but I think listening to what Shaun was saying, it's probably that I didn't really do anything and she just passed me anyway.
Yeah, that's right. She's done. She just give you a
you're
merit award.
Clayton student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, congratulations for your participation.
You're here.
Yeah.
And that was, so I graduated, 25 years ago. So,
Yeah.
it's a fair time.
Yeah, and on her graduation certificate it says, Lisa, she was here.
That's all it says.
Yes.
Yeah, she was here. Okay, that's hilarious. Let's finish off with Pam from Maluka. Hi, Pam.
Hi, guys. How you going?
Good,
Pam, we've been talking all about Clayton's tacos and wins and other things. Do you know about this? Did you know about this already?
Yes. Agree with the first gentleman. Was it Richard?
Yes, Richard, yep.
There used to be an ad in the 70s for a Clayton's drink, and it was non-alcoholic, and Mum would say, you're having a Clayton's when you were doing something, but you weren't doing something. So, it is that. It's the drink you're having when you're not having a drink, and it was advertised all the time, and I guess you had to be in the era to know what it meant.
But this is my thing, though. Sean, I'm sure I now know that this exists, right? But yet I have never heard anyone say that phrase before. Have you, Pam, in your life, no one said a Clayton's Win around you, have they?
Not a Clayton's Win, but I knew exactly what he meant. So it was a win when you weren't having a win. Yeah, I knew it.
So
in
the ad, we Trent Cooper, who used to be the Dockers coach, he sent me a message saying that Clayton's Tonic, which is the ad we're all talking about, it starred Jack Thompson. Oh, Jack Thompson.
Mate, we'll get that
Back
right
in
in.
the day.
Okay, well, that was really,
insightful.
It was insightful, wasn't it? We learned something today on this show.
Sean.
On this show, and it came from Sean, and he won a competition today.
And he won.
Sean, have you reached your genius era?
I told you I had the fish oil tablets this morning. Took a while to kick in.
Okay, wait, here we go. Here's the Clayton's Tonic ad. Let's check. I hope it's not swearing. Okay, put it up.
Nice one, Jack.
Okay, so he's on a horse.
Jack. Riding. What do you have? I have a Clayton's and dry things. Plenty of ice. The drink you have? When I'm not having a drink.
Non-alcoholic.
Reckon you can handle the river crossing? I'll be ready. Clayton's and dry, Jack. Oh, better have a double scotch too. For the horse.
So there you go. That's a non-alcoholic whiskey.
Yeah.
No, that would have been on sale in Australia for 5 minutes.
Did you know about the drink? Did you know about the drink though? And that's where your term
No,
of
it was
Clayton's
just
Win.
always just during my footy days.
That's
My
so
mate chucked it
random.
as Clayton's
There you
Win.
go.
Doesn't count.
Okay.
Well, that's insane. Well, that company went broke, didn't it? Unbelievable. Tracy has done a journalistic deep dive into the Googs.
Yep. Thank you, Google. It's been around since 1880.
So that was when the Clayton brothers, Clayton brothers
in
first...
Battersea, London.
Yes.
They created this Caribbean-made tonic, and the only one that's available now, so it's not the whiskey.
Yeah.
It's called a Clayton Cola tonic. That's available now.
That's non-alcoholic,
the
I'd imagine.
the non-alcoholic whiskey, Clayton's whiskey. When did that first come into play in Australia?
79.
1979.
But it's been around since 1880.
I'm sorry, back then it's not about alcohol free,
No.
it's how do we put more alcohol in the alcohol.
Yes. So it was ahead of its time.
That is insane.
Exactly.
They should re-release it now.
Don't
Can
you?
you
Why
imagine?
wouldn't you re-release it?
Yep.
God, that wouldn't be a Clayton's Win. That'd be an actual win. Because I know the term now.
Yes.
That's right, everyone. Come to Nathan, Nat,
thanks,
and Sean. You come here for the learning.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.